At the time of this recording, the US election is a few days off. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I am confident about one thing is afterwards there are going to be a lot of upset people. Maybe on one side, maybe on the other, maybe some on both, but there's going to be a lot of upset people. Some are going to be fearful, some are going to be angry, some depressed, some may blame themselves, and I can understand those reactions. And I'm not blaming anybody for those reactions. But I do want to look at what's going on when we have those reactions and how does it affect our ability to act and how does it affect other people? I think there's something important there to see. So if we come out of this and we feel a lot of fear or we feel a lot of anger or depression, all of those are a form of suffering. All those are uh, some way that we're now no longer seeing the world as something delicious. That's been blocked from us. We're cut off from that. And one could say, like, okay, I just want to go off and suffer in the corner. And if you do, okay. Um, but I don't think it's great for you, and I don't think it's great for the world if you do that. Here's the thing to remember, and it's a tough thing to remember at times for all of us, is the suffering isn't from those circumstances. It really looks like it. Because this person won, I need to be afraid. Or because that person won, um, I'm going to be angry. It really looks like that's what causes it. And certainly we can have a negative view that someone won. But the suffering that takes us over, the anger or the fear, that's actually a product of our own system. That's our psychology, our ego, our body's habits that generate that particular mood for us and captures us, cripples us, has us see the world a certain way. Once we're in the mood of fear, we keep spotting stuff to be afraid about. We focus on it, we see it, we magnify it. We talk to people who have the same mood, and it gets bigger and bigger. And same with anger, same thing. But what's going on is our system, our way of seeing the world is reacting, and then it's projecting out there to see a certain thing again and again and again. And what's the problem with it? Well, first you can see is we're deeply confused in that moment because we really think we're just reacting to what's out there. We're not recognizing it's our own system in reaction to what's out there. And it cripples us. If you want to take effective action, moving from fear is generally going to be way less effective than being free of the fear and still taking the action. Moving from anger, and it's pretty easy to find examples of that in our own lives, makes us much less effective. Moving from hopelessness, clearly. So the opportunity is to free ourselves of the reaction that our system's generating, to recognize it's our reaction. Not that we don't take issue with what's out there. I'm not in any way saying don't have views, don't take actions. But we can be far more effective if we free ourselves of it. And the first step to that is recognizing it's in us. Why are we so afraid of this? Well, it has something to do with your history. Somewhere in life, some things happened that led you to conclude life is scary at some kind of deep level, and certain things trigger it. That's what's there. Same thing with anger. Life is unfair in some way, and if you're stuck with that and anger arises, same thing with hopelessness. It's stuff in our history, our system, that's there. So then we start by recognizing that. And just that's already huge, just to get out of blaming the circumstances and viewing ourselves as inextricably affected by them, our reactions caused by them, is already a giant step toward freedom. Now, the specifics of working, you may need to do something else. I love Byron Katie's Practice the Work to go look at the beliefs that are in the system that are generating those reactions. They're there. If you go look, you're going to find them. And you may have to do it multiple times to keep getting some freedom from them, but it works. And that I've seen over and over and over again. But even if you don't get there, just starting with being responsible for your own reaction is huge. And then we can help others. Because if I go out there inflicting my mood on others, I trigger them. I get them going. And then they go out and get somebody else going. So my fear, my anger could end up having a ripple effect that affects hundreds of people. On the other hand, if I recognize it's mine, if I can free myself of it, I become not only not a projector of it, I become somebody who's able to absorb it and transform it in others. And from there, we can begin to act intelligently. We may be able to build some bridges that we didn't think were possible. We may be able to take some effective action that makes a difference with what's ahead. And that's the point of all this, right? Not to get caught and dwell in our own suffering. Anyways, thank you for listening.